Hi, this is Shane Mata, and I've been meaning for a while to make a video explaining why I do what I do. You probably know me from RGV Life. That's the website that I've had up the longest. It's a free blogger.com website. It's rgvlife.blogspot.com. I started that back in 2006. At that time, Sheriff Conrado Cantuat in Cameron County had been arrested and was there were some other officials under investigation, and that was around the time that there was a race for county judge here in Hidalgo County and district attorney. Actually, a lot like we are now, where there's public officials who are under indictment and under investigation, and there's a county judge's race and all kinds of things. It seems like every year we have this sort of thing. So I thought at the time that the Rio Grande Valley had an image problem. And my idea was to kind of counteract that with opening up a blog and writing about all the positive things about the Rio Grande Valley. My target audience was people from outside of the Rio Grande Valley, people from up north, different states, from Austin, from people who aren't from here originally. And that way they could see that there's a lot more to the Rio Grande Valley than corrupt officials and drug dealings and people crossing the border illegally, that sort of thing. I want to show that there is life down here, and we actually have a pretty good way of life. It's just that there's some people who just ruin it for all of us. Well, I started writing about that sort of thing, and then it turns out that my audience wasn't whom I had intended. My audience actually turned out to be people locally. And I think that probably came as a result of having volunteered for a campaign. I volunteered for a campaign just to kind of see what that was like, what goes on during a campaign. And then from there I started covering more politics and actually interviewing some of the candidates on the street. So I had a little recorder, and I'd go up to the candidates and do a recording asking them questions that the public might be interested in. And from there, it just kind of progressed. So over the years, since 2006, I've done audio podcasts, I've done video, lots of blogging, photographs, and I've been to a lot of events. And so a lot of times people ask me, so why do you do what you do? How is it what have you got to gain from it? What do you get out of it? And for now, I do it as a public service for the same reason. Basically, it's like I like living here in South Texas. I like our way of life, and I think that there's some areas for improvement. And I think so long as I show who is doing good things for the community and try to show who our leaders are, so that the public gets to know them a little bit better and can make informed decisions when you go out to vote, I think I'm doing the community a good deed by doing these things. So I try not to pick sides. Obviously, I work for an elected official, so if you notice, I don't really cover or say much about that sort of thing because, the conflict of interest thing comes up. But as far as other offices, I try to be as fair as possible and not not make any judgments or things like that. So I try to be neutral and just report it and let you decide what you think. So a lot of my videos are like this. They're just unedited and raw, and just they just go up straight into the web, so that you can make your own decisions. I don't get any compensation out of it. The tools that I use are often free, so it doesn't cost me too much. I do spend money on some things, and a lot of it is actually spent time that I could be spending with my family, or time that I could be billing for I do other work. I do computer work. So when I'm doing stuff for the website, for the blogs, I'm not really making money because I'm just taking time away from what I do normally, from my side business as a computer tech. So there's no financial gain for me, other than I put some Google ads on the sides of the websites, but those really don't pay very much. I'll make maybe $100 a year out of the Google ads. So mostly it's just the satisfaction of having done something for the community that motivates me to do what I do. So that pretty much is it. I feel some obligation to help the community find out what their leadership is doing. And because if you read the news, there's really not too much detail. I mean, you get sound bites. If you watch the TV, you get sound bites. Listen to radio, you get sound bites. A little 30 seconds here, a couple minutes there, but you don't get a full interview or understanding of what is motivating a lot of these individuals who are in public office, or you don't get much coverage, detailed coverage. So I try to be in there and add something to it. I'm not a reporter, and actually I think I do a bad job of it. I basically allow people to run off on their own and say what they need to say off the cuff. It's unscripted. So anyways, I hope it kind of gives you an insight as to why I blog and why I write stories about the Rio Grande Valley and why I put up video and podcasts. That's it, pretty much. It's just a sense of public obligation to help my community. And so, with that said, please visit rgvlife.blogspot.com or rgv-life.com. It's rgv-life.com. missiontexas.net, and some other blogs out there. I forget what they are right now. And participate. Become a member of the site. Give me your thoughts. Send me information that you think is relevant for the community. Help me make this place, make the Rio Grande Valley a better place to live. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again soon.